Hey, so hopefully everyone out there is doing amazing. Today I just want to cover cargo claims. So this is for you owners of the trucking companies, owner operators. I know some of you guys might not have been faced with an actual cargo claim, so I just want to give you guys some ways that you could, and some tips on how you could prevent, from being hit with an actual cargo claim out here. So some of you guys out here are brand new to following my YouTube channel, so I just want to kind of bring you up to speed real quick. It takes an MC number to actually haul freight, which is your motor carrier number, which is also called your authority. And also the most important things that you guys need is a $100,000 cargo insurance and a $1 million general liability policy. So let's roll off into ways that you can prevent from being hit with an actual cargo claim. So let's just talk to you guys out there specifically with these type of trailers, which is your flatbed trailer and your actual step deck trailer, and also your refrigerated trailer. So ways that you could prevent from being hit with an actual cargo claim. Let's talk to you step decks and you flatbed guys right now. Make sure if that load requires a tarp, make sure you guys have a good tarp, no holes in your tarp, because the thing about it is when they tell you that that load need to be tarped, that's what it means. That load needs to be fully secure and it needs to be covered, because that load cannot get wet. If that load get wet and you end up pulling up to that receiver and that receiver reject that load, you will be faced with an actual cargo claim because you have damaged the actual freight that was loaded onto your trailer. So make sure, for you guys out there that's driving step decks, flatbeds, hot shots right now, and if that load requires a tarp, make sure that you guys have good tarps on your truck. Make sure that you're always doing your preventative maintenance, even on your tarps too, because some of your tarps out there can be repatched or stitched up or whatever it is. You don't always have to go out buying $200-300 tarps. You can take them to go get them repaired, but just always make sure that that tarp is in good working condition so that you could keep that load as dry as possible, because you don't want to pull up to that receiver and that receiver say, well, this load is messed up because you failed to either tarp the load or you had holes in your tarp and water end up leaking through that tarp. So now that load has been damaged, it might be rusted out, whatever it is. So they're going to get in contact with the actual shipper to let them know, hey, we're not accepting this freight because it's damaged. So then that shipper is going to get in contact with the freight broker, and then from there that freight broker is going to file an actual cargo claim with your insurance. And you don't want that to happen, because as a trucking company, if you have any type of claims filed against your insurance, with your insurance, that insurance more than likely will not even renew your policy when the time comes, or they might even drop you and cancel out your policy. Because the thing about it is, now that insurance company will have to pay for that whole load that was just damaged. Let's just say that load was $100,000. That actual insurance company will pay out that whole $100,000 to that shipping company so that they could recover their money out of the freight that was damaged, because you failed to either put the tarp on the load or you ended up loading the actual freight with, a damaged tarp that allowed water to actually, go through the actual tarp and end up rusting out that load. So, like I say, that's for you flatbed guys. Now let's talk about reefer guys, because these are the most common trailers. Don't get me wrong, dry vans and, any other type of trailers out here will be faced with cargo claims too, if they got into an accident or whatever it is. But the most common cargo claims that I see will come from these type of trailers, which are your step deck trailers, flatbed trailers, and your actual reefer trailers. Oh yeah, let's back up real quick on the actual flatbed and step deck trailers. Also, for you guys out there, man, make sure that you're securing those loads down properly. I don't know how many times I done heard stories about cargo claims because someone on a hot shot step deck or a flatbed trailer failed to secure the load down properly, and that freight, like a piece, it don't technically have to be the actual whole load, but sometimes piece of the freight end up just falling on the ground and end up damaging or rolling off the trailer, just because that driver failed to actually secure that load down, and then you will be faced with a cargo claim, you know, on whatever freight that was actually damaged too. You know, so some of you guys out there might end up losing the whole load, whether it's a reefer trailer or a flatbed trailer, and then you have to actually pay for all of that freight that was damaged. Sometimes it might just be, you know, a piece here and there, and then that's what will have to be actually paid out for your actual cargo claim. So do not lose the whole trailer. You know, that's one thing that I recommend. Make sure you guys are always doing your checks. Make sure you guys are always strapping down your loads, securing your loads down to that trailer. Make sure you guys are always doing your preventative maintenance. If that load needs to be tarped, make sure you put that tarp on it. So let's roll off into excuse me, let's roll off into the actual reefer trailers. So reefer trailers are prone to always seem like they're getting hit with cargo claims, and the reason why is because that reefer trailer relies on the actual refrigerated, you know, unit to keep that freight in the actual controlled temperature environment. So let's just say you guys are hauling a whole truckload of seafood right now, and that seafood is valued at $100,000. Let's just say if that reefer trailer end up going down and that refrigerated unit is not operational anymore, you guys are going to be at risk of losing that whole load because you cannot keep it in a controlled temperature environment. And if that load end up spoiling out or whatever it is, you just lost the whole trailer. I done heard stories, plenty of stories out here, when an actual reefer truck driver has lost the whole load, and now that truck driver was faced with a cargo claim. And like I said, you guys don't want any type of claims to be filed against you, because one thing in this business, as a trucking company, the insurance really controls your business. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. You cannot get out here and truck if you don't have commercial insurance. Some of you guys right now are trying to start your actual trucking company, but the insurance quotes for you may be outrageous, and that's going to prevent you from actually getting into the business. Now, for you guys who are already in the business, if you have an at-fault accident, if you have a cargo claim filed against you, that's what the insurance, when it's time to renew your policy, they're going to look at your past year to see, you know, what type of claims was filed against you. How much money did they lose because of your actual claims? And then that's going to determine if they're going to renew your policy, or if they're going to cancel your policy, or if they renew your policy, more than likely your premium is going to go up so much to the point that you might not even want to be in the business anymore. So just make sure you guys out there are doing your actual preventative maintenance. Make sure you guys are always double checking to make sure that that load is secure. Make sure that that load is tarped if it needs to be tarped. I know some of you guys can't really get around if your reefer unit end up going down, because yeah, maybe you have done the actual preventative maintenance on the unit, but we all know things happen in life. So just make sure if that unit goes down, make sure you get it to an actual mechanic ASAP, especially if you have a full truckload of whatever on that actual trailer, before that trailer, that whole load end up spoiling out or whatever it is, or end up going bad, you know. So make sure you guys get that truck to an actual shop so they could get that trailer, that reefer trailer, back up and going. So these are just some tips, man, out here. I talked to some people and they just want to know, like, hey, what if a cargo claim was filed against me? What would happen? So basically what will happen is if you pull up to an actual receiver, that receiver might reject that load. If they reject that load, like I say, then that's going to start the investigation, you know, process, and then that actual freight broker will file a claim against that actual trucking company's cargo insurance. And then from there, that once that investigation comes back, and if that comes out to end up being an at fault, you know, on the actual trucking company, that's when the actual insurance will pay out, you know, the actual money that is owed to the shipping company, you know, for losing that freight. And then from there, it's unpredictable on what the actual the actual insurance company will do with the actual the actual trucking company. You know, it might come down to, they might cancel your policy ASAP, you know, just because of that. And then the thing about it is, like I say, back on commercial insurance too. If they end up canceling out your policy, more than likely another insurance company will not pick you up, just because they see in their database that this insurance company has canceled your policy. So that means you're at risk. So you might just be put out of business, you know, too. And I know sometimes you guys can't prevent things out here, you know, sometimes things just happen, but make sure you guys are taking the steps so that you could possibly prevent it from happening. So if you guys have any questions out there about cargo claims, man, hit me up on my email, broker@manniestrans.com. Go visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Go get your 30-day free trial with DAT. Go sign up with TAFS, Trans, and Financial Services if you guys are looking for a factoring service. Also, go follow me on IG at Manny's Movement. Man, everybody out there, CEO, commit, execute, and be obsessed. Everybody be great out there.